Hi everyone, welcome to my ETAD 804 proposal presentation for Distance Education English Language Arts B30 course. This presentation will go over the logistical information of the course itself and why it's needed, an institutional overview on the Greater Saskatoon Catholic School Division that I'll be proposing this course to, a summary of the course, the questions and theories that I have guided through this course design, and how this course would uphold Kahn's octagonal framework for e-learning. So again, this distance-based course, within GSCS, they have a distance-based education sector already set up. It's called Cyber School. They also already offer ELA B30. However, this proposed course design and method of instruction and delivery are quite dramatically differ from the current course. This course should be offered as a distance-based education course to ensure that students can achieve the curricular requirements, for their high school diploma while pursuing possible employment pathways in their senior years of secondary education. Creating this course would help decrease the class size that is currently in a mandatory subject in Saskatchewan, and would give students the opportunity to earn their credits online. It would also provide an opportunity for students to develop their independent learning skills and challenge themselves with a distance education course before possible distance-based course post-secondary courses or future career possibilities that may include online work. And right now, given our current global standing with the pandemic, I think it would be a great opportunity for students to practice those skills and really build them before they're in a workforce. So next up, institutional overview. So this project is designed for the staff and students of the Greater Saskatoon Catholic School Division, which is legally known as St. Paul's Roman Catholic Separate School Division number 20. GSCS is the largest Catholic school division in the province of Saskatchewan and is situated on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional homeland of the Métis. There are 50 schools in the GSCS division, largely based in the Saskatoon area, Martensville, Warman, Humboldt, and Viscount. Fiscally, in the 2018-19 school year, GSCS received 68% of their divisional funding from government grants, 26% from property taxes from Catholic taxpayers, and 6% from various revenue streams. Again, in the 2018-2019 school year, GSCS employed 1,026.6 classroom teachers through a variety of different contracts and supported over 19,000 students. The student demographics of these students reveal that of these 19,000 students, over 3,200 self-identify as First Nations and Métis students, nearly 3,200 are French immersion students, and over 2,200 are English as an additional language students. Some additional affordances that would be looked into for this ELA B30 course. Ideally, the educator or the team of educators piloting this course would need to be accredited English teachers so that students are not required to write a departmental exam at the end of the course. However, there are no additional staffing costs for accredited teachers, but there is a need for them in schools, which may pose a problem depending on the prioritization of the organization of the GSCS division. If they need more in the high schools, it would be difficult to pull them away from the physical school to bring them online. Okay, next up, a summary of ELA B30. So for students who enroll in this course, they need the prerequisite courses of ELA A90, ELA B90, ELA A10, ELA B10, and ELA 20. Based on these curricular requirements established by the government of Saskatchewan, students are required to have a minimum of 24 credits, at least 5 of which shall be 30 level credits in order to graduate. And of these 24 credits, 5 must be language arts courses, 2 of which are ELA A30 and, of course, this B30. So, this summary, students, again, they need to take B30 as a mandatory credit for their high school diploma. The core requirements of this course, outcomes and indicators are designed so that students will build and demonstrate their knowledge achievements, strengthen their learning and reading skills and writing skills across three broad areas of learning: lifelong learning, sense of self, community, and place, as well as engaging as citizens. The four cross-curricular competencies are developing thinking, developing identity and interdependence, developing literacies, and developing social responsibility. There are also 2 themes and various units that are outlined for educators, in addition to a guide of minimum requirements of literary materials that must be taught by educators. The material considerations for ELA B30 are exclusively focused on international and Indigenous authors to give students a better understanding of the world and the cultures around them, to become better global citizens. Finally, there are 2 overarching themes to be completed: the search of self and, as well, the social experience. Okay, next up, project design questions. Number 1, experience-based and constructivism learning. The foundation of this ELA B30 course is based on individual experiences before the course begins. But within the course, students will construct new knowledge rather than acquire it through memorization or any other means of knowledge acquisition that cannot be empirically measured. Prior experiences and understandings will dynamically grow and evolve as a result of studying the course materials and completing the course assignments. This post-Fortis approach will maintain that teaching is flexible and sensitive to learning needs from intellectual, cognitive, and psychological perspectives in order to champion student experiences and learning. Students will grow their experiences, understandings, and skills throughout the semester in correlation to what they have learned in the course materials to make sure they have a meaningful understanding and interaction with the course materials. We'll also practice higher order thinking and cognitivism learning. The course is focused on practicing higher order thinking skills that focus on comprehension, analysis, synthesis, evaluation, decision-making, problem-solving, and creative thinking to ensure that students are building and demonstrating their newly constructed understandings of the course material. These structured modes of learning will allow students to interact and construct new knowledge within areas of their own interests by promoting student inquiry and personal development. Finally, we have number 3, interaction and constructivism learning, connectivism learning. So interactions are a big thing with online-based courses, but with this design, students can share their newly constructed knowledge and thoughts through various asynchronous online discussion forums that are going to correlate to different units to engage with one another and continue to develop their understanding of the course material. Additionally, based on Whittemer's theory of independent study, students are going to practice their independent learning skills by challenging themselves to appropriately use the technologies within the course. And again, that will allow students to permit to stop, start, and learn at their own pace. Ideally, again, to make sure this course is properly delivered, it would need to be in a Goldilocks environment of about 15 to 30, not hundreds. And I think if all these course design criterions are met, students will have a successful pathway to grow as individuals and in a dynamic learning experience that will benefit them beyond. Next up, so how does this all fit within Kahn's octagonal framework? In the following slides, I'll explain again the tenets of the octagonal framework and how it will be implemented into the course design and how the elements have been organized to benefit the learning of the future students. This section again will provide an explanation for the theory, the designs, the technology, the learning platforms, the evaluation methods, and the leadership overview that will be used in the delivery of this course. So, pedagogical. As this is a course designed for the GSCS division, I will be following the vision statement that proclaims that GSCS is a faith-based community adapting to technology to enrich learning and promote excellence in education, to ensure that the division's requirements are met. That's based on the vision, mission and vision statement. And furthermore, this course will really pedagogically be guided by Kuros's concept of open teaching to facilitate learning experiences that are open, transparent, collaborative, and social. And that'll be based on our digital classroom environment. This pedagogy advocates for the free and open knowledge society that will support students in the construction of experiential understandings, creation of assignments, personal connections and reflections, the synthesis of knowledge through the shared development of learning networks that will allow them to interact and grow from their newly acquired experiences that they learn in the course and quickly implement them into the course materials, or excuse me, the course assignments. So next up, course technologies. Again, this course with the GSCS, it will be based on their current partnership with Google, specifically Google Classroom, but it will also incorporate other medias and applications. So in this slides, I've created a theoretical ELA B30 course. I've also dropped the logos of Piazza, Twitter, and Flipgrid, as those are the technologies that will revolve around a diverse, different sets of media that can link senses and meanings to construct experiences within the course. And again, these are the main focal points. However, there will also be text literacies that we can find digitally, be novels, short stories, poems, articles, things like that. Through the medium of Google Classroom, we can link audio and visual medias. We could do analysis and comparisons based off YouTube videos, computing, social media sites like Twitter, Flipgrid, debatably, and again, these asynchronous discussion forums would take over Piazza. Google Classroom can be really one-dimensional with just comment structure, so Piazza can allow me to integrate Google Classroom as well as have students just have really great discussions. And these interactions can branch out over Twitter via a course hashtag or hashtags, as well as Flipgrid grids. Those are the different grid opportunities and based off different topics or sections. So interface. This course design, again, this is the bloop at, again, my current course as well as the theoretical future one. But the course interface and layout will be designed to encompass Zielinski and Fisher's graphic design principles that set students and educators up for success throughout the semester. The tenets of this course revolve around size, font, contrast, color contrast through the LMS interface. Specific attention will be focused on during the hosting of Google Classroom. It has strategically chosen a legible sized font, proper grammar and capitalization, and I'm controlling the contrasting colors to demonstrate contrasting and separate ideas that properly align for easy navigation for all students. The design and organization of the course interface will also be explained and broken down to students in an introductory video at the beginning of the course so that students have a good understanding of where the direction and where this course is going, how to navigate it. And again, it could be daunting if it's their first online-based course, so we want to make sure they're readily prepared and they have the materials in front of them. Next up, evaluation and assessment. In this course, students will be evaluated based on a variety of criteria checklists and rubrics that will be created to identify how students are using their experiences to answer a range of different assessment materials that are connected to the Saskatchewan B30 curriculum outcomes. Students will have numerous opportunities to demonstrate their knowledge through a breadth of assignments that are created to assess students' summative and formative understanding of the course material. And of course, educator feedback will be provided on all these assignments. Formative assessment opportunities will include asynchronous discussions and interactions through Piazza, Pear Deck, Flipgrid, and Twitter interactions, and the quizzes and various assignments through Google Classroom. Summative assessments will include essays through Google Docs, portfolios through Google Sites, Twitter book reports, and other evaluations that will be curated in Google Classroom. And students will also be requested to complete course evaluations periodically to ensure that their opinion and perspectives on the course design are being shared with the educators. The assessment data from these will be used to refine and improve the course for an instruction for future students. So next up is course management. Management of this course will be overseen by the GSCS Cyber School. There's already an administrative team, an IT team, an educational technology team, and distance-based educators who can provide experience and support for the educators and students who will be interacting with this course. Additionally, the course's LMS will be managed and supported by Google, which will act as an extra insurance for the data protection, retention, security, and accessibility and just some peace of mind when it's working, when the division is working with Google already. Ideally, again, educators will be holding ELA accreditation by the Saskatchewan Ministry of Education, so that they will be entrusted with the responsibility of determining a final mark or standing of a student in grade 12, so that students do not have to write a standardized departmental exam at the conclusion of the course to gain their course credits. As a result, educators will be chosen to teach this course will need to be flexible, creative, and recognize different qualifications to best deliver and educate the course, the students in the course. This is a mandatory credit course, so there will be a range of different student experiences and understandings to build upon and engage with. Formative assessment will be crucial to the understanding of the continuum within the student abilities and prior knowledges of the English language. All students will be enrolled in GSCS, are designated with a student number and a GSCS email account that is managed by Google to ensure accessibility to the classroom. Next up, resource support. So students will be able to access a plethora of cross-curricular resources as they make their way through the course materials and construct their experiences through the semester. Students will have a great support, educators will be a great support for students, in addition to a variety of different understandings that can be learned through external sites such as Google, YouTube, Twitter, as well as the others that we'll be interacting with. Prior curricular supports, beyond curricular supports, the course will be fostering a community of practice that will be based outside of just the course in that digital learning environment that could be in Google Classroom, but it really will take place over Twitter interactions similar to professional learning community, like an ed chat for educators. And again, this platform will allow students to share their experiences and grow as a community of learners. Students can interact on Twitter through the course hashtags and share ideas and experiences on the course environment beyond what takes place on Google Classroom or the asynchronous discussion forum Piazza. Ethical issues. Copyright is probably going to be an ongoing issue for educators and institutions to understand and avoid potential copyright infringements or violations. As the law of copyright are very specific, there are no real excuses for violations or infractions. It is imperative that educators have a comprehensive understanding of practice of the subject and Council of Ministers of Education's Copyright Act for themselves to support their students. Educators do their due diligence to ensure all course materials are cleared of copyright infractions and are uploaded to Google Classroom so that students are granted access to cleared copyright materials. Academic misconduct will not be tolerated in this course. Offenses such as misinterpretation, plagiarism, disruption to classes, etc. will be handled immediately. Consequences will be based on the severity of the infraction, and there will be a 2-strike policy before students are removed from the course. First strike, severe consequences. Second strike, expulsion. So students will be informed of the correct copyright practices and consequences of academic misconduct in the introductory video, similar to where they'll be introduced to how to navigate the course at the beginning of the course, as well as assignments to better understand plagiarism within ELA so that students have experience within the subject matter. Finally, I have this graphic that I've designed for the course. So this, aligning with the GSCS vision statement, the course will be a faith-based community adapting to technology to enrich learning and promote excellence education. We're ensuring that the course follows the requirements of the division. Furthermore, this course has been designed with the needs of GSCS and is primarily set up to success and facilitate teaching and learning of ELA B30 Saskatchewan curriculum, and it could be adopted by other divisions in the future to ensure success from an institutional and management setup. Management level divisions, again, they could follow this figure that I've created. So again, Saskatchewan curriculum, put it into the institutional method, find the right course facilitators and educators, as well as the assessment opportunities. And again, that's all with the creation of experiences and constructed knowledge, all for student experiences. So finally, again, I believe this course this course design would significantly impact students and allow them to grow their English language arts skills, as well as their citizenship skills through the digital nature of this distance-based course. If I was awarded the opportunity to create this course, I truly believe it would be a new and refreshing way to address student learning experiences and prepare them for the world beyond just their high school diploma. The challenges that I believe, or the challenges I encountered while creating this course revolve around my steep learning curve, as I had to learn and develop a new level of discipline for my first year of teaching while designing this course. And now in this last presentation, the last push for this presentation week, I've also had to complete report cards. I had 3-way conferences. And again, just between that, students and parents, it's been challenging to manage. But the passion I've had for this proposal and the future opportunities that within education has genuinely fueled me through some long days and nights over the last couple days and weeks. So that's my presentation. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to hearing everyone's feedback for me and also seeing everyone else's presentation. Have a great day.